Another day, another Panthers Pretend Draft as we put out a new mock draft each and every day leading up to the NFL draft. And after yesterday's debacle of going wide receiver with the Panthers' first two picks, I really have to redeem myself. I'm Demetri. This is another Panthers Pretend Draft. Part of this team is killing us. If you are not already subscribed to the YouTube channel here at OG Triangle Media, do that right now. Also, be sure and leave a comment. Whether you think my picks are great or nuts, I don't care. The comments help more people find the show. And as Panthers fans look for draft information and draft analysis and conjecture leading up to the actual NFL draft, we hope to be a part of that. So take the time right now, hit subscribe, maybe even hit that little bell icon so you get notifications whenever a new one of these videos goes live. All right, a quick reminder. Pro Football Network is the draft engine that we use. I don't like to trade up into the first round unless I do have my handy dandy list here that I work from. These are our top needs, in my opinion. Wide receiver, offensive line, particularly a center, an edge rusher. I would like to come out of here with a tight end. And then I have what I call the leap list. Any of the big three receivers, that is Roma Dunze, Malik Neighbors, and of course Marvin Harrison Jr. If they fall out of the top 15, and then Dallas Turner and Brock Bowers, both of them, if they fall after 20, then I will consider jumping up into the first round. But overall, I want to make this as realistic as possible. I will try out some ideas and some scenarios on some days, but coming off of going wide receiver at 33 and 39 and seeing the absolute terrible trickle-down effect that had, today I'm going to try and go a little bit more realistic. So let's fire up that mock draft engine and dive right into it. I'll pull it up here. All right, so we are holding tight till pick number 33. And you see that all of our receiver targets that we would move up for are gone. Dallas Turner gone. Brock Bowers gone. It seems like Bowers is not getting past Indianapolis, according to this draft engine, because I never see him get beyond number 15 if he is not taken ahead of time. Brian Thomas Jr. is a guy I might consider trading up for if he were there at like 30-ish. But obviously you saw he went at 26. All right, so here we are at pick number 33. Don't love this offer, so we are going to take the pick, and we could go wide receiver. A.D. Mitchell, Keon Coleman both offer something we haven't had yet. I do love Kingsley Suamataia. He, I think, is one of the truly gifted offensive linemen athletically in this draft. And now we look again at 39. Do we go wide receiver? Do we go Adisa Isaac at the edge? Maybe. Ladd McConkey, I know, is a guy that everybody says great route running, creates separation. I don't think that's what the Panthers need. So if I'm going receiver, I'm going with Leggett because he has true speed. But I think I'm going to build up the offensive line here. We got to tackle with the first pick, and that means the bigger offensive line needs center is not addressed. Let's get Zach Frazier from West Virginia. Really like this guy a lot. I think he was the centerpiece of West Virginia's overall improvement because he is not undersized by any stretch and gave that offense a lot more time to work than it has had during the Neil Brown era. So now we will wait till 65. And again, now I don't want to wait on a pass catcher. The last 2 days, we have done crazy different things. 2 pass catchers in a row. Yesterday, the day before, we waited till 101 on a pass catcher. Ricky Pearsall, the best wide receiver left on the board. So I'm of two minds on this guy. I like his route running. He is very fast. Those things are very good and could help Bryce right away. Pearsall also sometimes has a bit of a case of the dropsies, which is why he falls all the way down to round 3, because he has more talent than that. But I'm going to take a flyer on him because at his best, he can be exactly what the Panthers need. And Pearsall and Johnson would create a nice 1-2 that then frees up Adam Thielen to do a little bit more as the number 3 option, as opposed to last year when he was clearly the number 1. As we come down to pick 101, I think edge rusher is too big of a need to ignore here. And with that being the case, we go to, let's see, Jalix Hunt. I think there's a big fall off there. So let's go to Austin Booker. He has become an old friend at this point if the Carolina Panthers do not end the actual draft with Austin Booker, I'm going to be very disappointed. I think he is a really talented dude because of the quarterback situation and all that Kansas overcame on the offensive side of the ball. I think it overshadowed how much great work their defense did, and Booker is a monster when you watch him on film. So let's take a look at what the Panthers have so far. You see, we have addressed all three of our big needs. I would even say all four, because Lauren and I are a little bit divided on what the bigger offensive line need is. Is it center or is it tackle? Well, we've addressed both already here within the first 101 picks of this draft. So now we will hold tight until pick 141. Not a lot of trade action so far. Let's see if that changes here. Usually 141 and 142 have some offers come our way. And I think that's a pretty good one. Let's not waste a whole lot of time considering. Let's jump on this trade from Miami. I will fall back 17 spots and also pick up pick 184, an early sixth rounder, because I've got the next pick and I'm not worried about my guy coming off the board here because I don't really have a guy. We could go Jaheim Bell. We could go Jared Wiley if we are going with a tight end. But look, I've been saying this a lot the last few days. The secondary needs bodies. I would rather go out and get a guy that could be a nickel or dime corner here than take one of these tight ends right now. So Jarrian Jones of Florida State, come on down. And we have added a body to the secondary, which is really important. Again, I said this yesterday, and I'll reiterate it. I don't know how much carryover you can count on from last year's defense to this year's. Pick up a seventh round and drop back 2 spots. That works for me. We will take that trade from Buffalo. Because, again, I don't have somebody that I have my eye on here. Javon Solomon, if we wanted to double up on edge rushers. Let's go with Taj Washington. I said I wanted to come out of here with 2 pass catchers, even though one of them will not be a tight end. 2 wide receivers I am okay with. Taj Washington, by the way, the 7th USC receiver in the last 10 years to have a 1,000-yard season. I think that says a lot more about the kind of talent that goes to USC than any individual guy, but he put up numbers, and I think that is the kind of thing you're looking for at pick number 5, or excuse me, in round number 5. Pick 184. Let's keep building up that offensive line. Javion Cohen is a guy that I wonder what could have been with, because while I do like him and like what I saw from him in Miami, I kind of wonder, had he stayed at Alabama, would his draft stock be a little bit higher just because of the brand recognition? Alabama's offensive line the last 2 years obviously has had a lot of trouble, so I don't think Cohen would have necessarily been a major difference maker for them. I just wonder in 2024 what having that A as opposed to the U next to his name would have done for Javion Cohen's draft stock. But to get him in round 6, I'm very happy about. We'll have 2 7th-round picks here before we are done. Maybe A.J. Barner from Michigan, if he hangs on and stays on the board, that might be an obvious pick for us here at 240. But of course, he goes right before we pick. So let's do this. I'm harping a lot on these new kickoff rules this year because now that it is more of a football play, I think it changes what makes for a good returner. Dawan Edwards out of Georgia, I think, is the kind of guy I would not want as my every down running back, but I think he could be really helpful in that return situation. So that's going to be the pick there. And at 248, our last pick of the draft, let's just add another offensive lineman. Kyle Hergel out of Boston College will be my pick, and that is going to do it for the 2024 draft. I'll show you real quick what the trades we made were so you can kind of see how the picks came together, trading down from 141, and then we trade again from 158 down to 160. So everything wrapped up in one trade there. So Kingsley Suamataia, Zach Frazier, love those 2 picks. Very happy. Ricky Pearsall, I see the upside. That's what I'm drafting there. Austin Booker, very reliable. Jarrian Jones, I think, is a probably nickel or dime package back at best, but that's okay for me in round 6. Taj Washington, add another receiver, and then we're really building up. Dawan Edwards is really the only guy in this group that I have a specific plan for if I'm the Carolina Panthers. Again, like and subscribe to the page. Come back tomorrow. We will have another Panthers Pretend Draft for you.